Oh, okay, thanks. So, good evening, all of you. I, Pranav Mantri, moderator of this webinar, is delighted to welcome you. The webinar organized by CCLEA and NPO Committee of ICAI, the Know Your Law Series 60th webinar on professional opportunities, initiatives of Union Government to promote cooperative sector, organized by Committee on Commercial Laws, Economic Advisory, and NPO Cooperative of ICI. In a short while, we'll start this webinar. But before that, I'll quickly take this opportunity to tell you about this wonderful committee. The committee's focus to encourage chartered accountants to shape strategy and policy that unlocks the economic, financial, and social value while combining analytical foresight with commercial acumen. One of the core areas of this committee is to serve the multifunctional task of analysis, knowledge dissemination, inputs to regulators on policy formulation, to develop and publish the technical guidance, background materials, and create awareness for professional opportunities for chartered accountants in commercial laws, economic advisory, and NPO cooperatives. Our eminent speaker today, CA Ramesh Prabhu sir, will talk about the initiatives of Union Government to promote the cooperative sector. And we hope that this will definitely be very helpful for each one of us in this webinar. Now, before starting with the topic, I take this opportunity to introduce our chairman of the committee, CA Chandrasekhar Chitle sir. So Chitle sir is currently heading this committee, member of the Central Council from 2009 onwards till current. He has even chaired multiple committees, right from Ethical Standard Board, Direct Taxes, Peer Review, and the list goes on and on. He was even the chairman of Pune branch of ICAI and has been a former lecturer at multiple colleges and management
No need of my
institutions.
introduction. I said. No need of my introduction.
Okay. So already we know Chidle sir. So before starting with the session, I request sir to kindly brief the audience. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you. As informed in opening remarks by Pranav, the Commercial Laws, Economic Advisory, NPO, and Cooperatives Committee is working on these multiple areas. As far as PMLA, AML, FEMA, and other matters are concerned, we have earlier held sessions. Maybe publications also will be released. On partnership also, we are coming out with publication where simple partnership deeds would be presented. So you will be able to do it yourself as far as drafting of any document of partnership is concerned or document of any document is concerned. So maybe in due course, all these publications will be released. The other initiatives that the committee is taking in the month of July, that would be training the trainers, particularly in the area of cooperatives and in the area of RERA. So there, maybe we will have better insights into these two areas, and we will be able to really practice widely in these two areas, which are very sunrise areas. And we believe that while you are practicing in auditing, taxation, etc., you can also practice in this area, because much time is not required for taxation now at the income tax or GST office. You can do it yourself at home or an office. Ramesh Prabhu is also taking this initiative in organizing this train the trainer program in cooperatives and RERA. Today, the topic for discussion would be opportunities in RERA. And since advent of RERA in the state of Maharashtra, always the institute has taken a lead. RERA is also, Prabhu is also closely watching these developments and contributing his mid through institute for amendments in the act, forms, and regulations. So his insights into this particular topic would be very useful. And followed up, those who are still having further interest in this particular arena, maybe we will be able to, you will be able to join at a later date in Train the Trainers program. So maybe you will have better insights so that you can also be a lecturer, faculty for the purpose of RERA, and in your own practice, maybe you will have knowledge from depth. Also various authorities in this field of cooperatives as well as in the field of this RERA across the country would be participating. As you are aware, Maharashtra is the lead state for the purpose of implementation of this particular act, and various bold steps are being taken. In fact, two recent initiatives by this RERA Maharashtra authority is one is relating to maintenance of a separate bank account, and another is specification of amenities in the agreement with the tenement purchasers. So those two are also under considerations. Uh, Draft guidelines were laid out by the authority, and the institute has duly responded, made its contribution, and we believe that alongside our recommendations, these rules would be framed, and thereafter maybe the operation of separate RERA bank account as well as drafting of this document for the purpose of uh, sale of apartments, transfer of apartments would be in sync with whatever suggestions we have made to the authority. So I also thank Ramesh Prabhu for agreeing to contribute this particular session, and I'm sure that his initiatives that he has mentioned about training will also yield desired results. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for briefing us with and giving us different insights about different committees. Now, I take this opportunity to introduce our today's versatile speaker, C. Ramesh Prabhu, sir. A practicing chartered accountant and CISA qualified with experience of more than 3 decades and whose opinion is sought on various laws and issues, particularly in RERA and cooperative sector. He is a partner in RS Prabhu and Associates, a firm based out of Mumbai, and has been into various I would say, into various different fields of being as a speaker at different avenues, right from government departments, newspapers, political parties, NGOs, and the list goes on and on. He was even the co-opted member of Cooperative Committee for Maharashtra by WRC for the last 5 years. He has in-depth knowledge of cooperative and housing society. He has authored more than 40 books of issues like conveyance, transfer of flats, parking, collection of dues. So I wonder how do you get so much of time in drafting on such a critical topic?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and he has even authored a book called as Self-Redevelopment, released by Shri Uddhav Thackeray, Chief Minister of Maharashtra in February 2020. So he has been even awarded by Srimati Pratibhatai Patil, ex-President of India, and has been even a presidential guest at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So it's indeed an honor to have you here. So I guess you are the right person to guide us on this topic, because with such vast experience, I'm sure that you will definitely show us the different avenues, because often we find that CAs are not aware where exactly we have the opportunities in the sector to promote the cooperative sector. So without further wasting much time of yours, I'll hand over the stage to you. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, the chairman of the Committee on Commercial Laws, Economic Advisory, NPO and Cooperatives, CA Chandrasekhar Chitle Sahib, similarly CA Pranav Mantri, and I have taken one more speaker, CA Amit More from Dombivli, who also has worked in the multi-state cooperative societies, because Shekhar sir wanted that I also should deal with the multi-state cooperative societies latest amendment. So today's topic is actually government initiatives on cooperative sector, promoting cooperative sector, as well as the amendment in the multi-state cooperative society. Yes, Shekhar sir, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, so we welcome More also is enthusiast in this particular field. I think Pranav had no benefit of his profile.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have introduced him also. Anyway, welcome. On some other occasion,
No
I think
issues, sir, no
will be duly introduced. Yeah.
Thank you, Amit sir, for giving us your valuable time.
Yes,
Welcome you.
he is like me only. I would just introduce for a minute. Amit More is the secretary of Kalyan Dombivli branch. Earlier, he was a convener of Dombivli CPA Service Circle, and he is also a contributor of Maharera manual and contributor in the reference manual of WRC on various subjects, especially on cooperatives. And he is a regular faculty in the Institute WRC as well as ICA and various branches. I think that is and he's a partner in A and More and Company. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because last minute I requested him, and he was kind enough, because that was a request made by the chairman of the committee that we need to deal even with the latest amendment in multi-state cooperative societies. So with this, I'll start with my session, and I will also share the PPT. Thank you very much once again, Shekhar sir, for accommodating us, and I'm sure.
Welcome both of you.
One more thing I just want to tell you, I think you are already aware, 17th of July, the committee has been invited by the All India Forum for RERA to present there. All the chairmen of the RERA All India will be there, along with the members, where we had done trainers training program recommendation. They wanted to hear from the chairman and vice chairman. So I think that is one great opportunity that we are getting. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing before you start.
Yeah.
Last week, I had a meeting with Honorable Secretary to the Cooperative Department at New Delhi.
That's correct.
He also wants that chartered accountants be trained in this central cooperative movement. So maybe soon we will be having movement. Not soon we will be having interaction with them. They are having their official institute, Vaikunta Mehta Institute. So maybe
Yeah.
ICI and Vaikunta Mehta Institute are also planning to do some joint activities, so that they want the auditors of central cooperative societies are aware of various changes. The notable change which audience might be aware is this particular central law was enacted with the consensus of our institute. We have given various inputs. We were happy that Honorable CS Suresh Prabhuji was also coordinating these efforts. He was in charge, and their accounting standards and standards of auditing issued by the ICI are presently mandatory for accounts and auditing of this central cooperative. I believe that More sir will also cover it. So these are the developments in this field, and the government wants to give more importance to these central cooperatives. So I'm sure that today's session will bring out the nuances of this particular sector. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I'll just start directly with the presentation. Yeah. Good evening, friends. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And straight away, I'll start with the presentation. The today's topic has been 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. Slide F5 करने का slide present.
So on the slide.
Yeah.
Slide
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
Slide show. Yeah, I think now it has come and start slide show.
No, sir, not yet.
No?
No, not yet.
I can see that slideshow. No? Okay. Once again I'll share.
You can reshare your screen, sir.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. No, okay.
Not just a minute. I guess it will be.
Yeah, it will come.
We are able to see your screen, sir, but we are not able to see it on the entire screen. We are getting the slide bar as well.
Okay. Okay. You are getting slide bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because what has happened is that I'm not able to see the. Now you are able to see?
It's the same screen. No, we are not able to see the entire screen. We are able to see your screen though.
Then
share
can
your
you tell me the control function to make it slide?
Stop sharing.
Now okay. Now okay. I'm okay. Now can you see?
No, sir. So you can stop sharing and then you can click on slideshow and from beginning and then you can reshare it.
See what is happening. This meeting is being recorded, is shown on the top. That is, I'm not able to see the top. Click on OK, correct? Acha, okay. Now okay, it is become. Now is okay. Now I am able to see. Now I think you should be able to see this.
So,
Okay, I think with the half presentation also is okay, I think.
yes, we can move ahead. No worries.
Yeah, I will move ahead because
Yes.
I don't know why it is not showing it.
So we can move ahead with the slide bar. No worries.
Yeah. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can see the screen with the slide bar.
Okay. 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 Fine. I'll not change the slideshow. Okay. Now I think you are able to see.
Yes.
Okay. You are able to see the screen, na? Okay. Yeah, correct. So the webinar is on professional opportunity initiatives of union government to promote cooperative sector. And then of course we are also going to deal with the latest amendment which has happened in the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act. Now this webinar is organized by Committee on Commercial Laws, Economic Advisory and NPO Cooperatives of ICI. And today what I will do is we have divided the entire session into 5 parts. First, we'll deal with the professional opportunity in the cooperative sector on new initiatives of government, union government, economic activities and overview of cooperatives, because there may be many participants who are not aware as to what is cooperatives. We'll try to touch upon that. National Cooperative Database, which is about 8 lakh cooperatives are there across India, how they have been computerized. And the topic of the day is a government initiative. 54 initiatives have been taken by the central government. That is a cabinet ministry of agriculture, this cooperative ministry. Then as our CA Amit More will certainly touch upon amendment to the multi-state cooperative societies. So to understand cooperative as a business enterprise, this is very important for each chartered accountant to understand that cooperative is unlike charitable organization where the charity is the main objective. Cooperative is a business enterprise. So when we talk about business enterprise, we have so far heard about only two sectors, private sector and public sector. There's a misunderstanding that cooperative sector is something like charitable sector. There is a misconception. This should be ruled out. The cooperative is a business enterprise. It is also one of the economic activity. And let me tell you, the state from which I am representing, that is Maharashtra, 59% of economic activities are carried out under this cooperative sector. So you can imagine why this union government in the year 2021 came out with this separate cabinet ministry in the union government, because that shows the importance of the cooperative sector. The next question arises, if cooperative sector is a business enterprise, then what is the professional opportunity available for a chartered accountant? Naturally, chartered accountants, as we know, can certainly do the auditing. And that is what even CA Chitri sir just explained us, that multi-state cooperative societies, the empanelment provision has been done. And there are two types of empanelment which has been done. The societies which have got more than 500 crore, one type of empanelment, and for the audit less than 500 crore. This is about multi-state. However, in each state, there are different cooperative societies, different type of cooperative societies where auditing can be done. Of course, the accounts is also one of the other aspects one can look into, and the advisory. Because at the end of the day, the chartered accountant should realize that the core practice of accounting and auditing is some or the other getting evaporated or rather getting reduced. So the only available, because these are the technology which is taking over. So, but advisory is the one which, even if there is a artificial intelligence or even there is some chat GPT or other various tools available, but the advisory by the experts, a chartered accountant will continue to remain, and therefore cooperative sector also has enough scope for the advisory. The last and most important also is the you can, as a chartered accountant, we are entitled to, without even due permission of the council, we can become a member in the governing council of cooperative banks, cooperative sector, cooperative societies, where for the purpose of the benefit of the members and by the members for the members in a democratic setup, it can be done. So therefore, if I have to make into four segment that what are the opportunities for a chartered accountant in cooperative sector, I would put it as 3A, that is auditing, accounting, advisory, and then the member in the governing council. So that means you can also roll the job. Now, question comes: a chartered accountant. Who is chartered accountant? Chartered accountant is nothing but a financial consultant. He has thorough knowledge of accounting and auditing, and financial management is the one which is most important for us to look into. So therefore, when we talk about a chartered accountant, naturally, the chartered accountant can start with a governing a structure for the cooperative sector. So therefore, the governing has to how the society can be registered, what type of business can be done, what will be the business plan, how the budgeting can be done, because these are the important things a financial doctor, a chartered accountant can do. So similarly, thereafter, we will have to look into the accounting system. Having designed an accounting system, then reporting, MIS, monitoring, investment, country regulations. Because when we see cooperative as a business enterprise, all type of business which an proprietary partnership or a limited partnership or a company, either public limited, private limited, or Section 8 company, which can be undertaken, all this type of economic activity can be taken over by the cooperative sector. Therefore, there will be a lot of country regulation, whether it is related to the labor law, whether it is GST, income tax, whatever the talk of business laws, all will be applicable to that. Even if you talk about a cooperative society can undertake the builders activity, building activity, in that case, RERA also will become applicable. Naturally, there will be employees, members, social security schemes will be there, which a chartered accountant will be better able to guide them and manage it, and then take care of compliance also, whether it is a EPF, whether it is a PPF, or whether any other employees benefit scheme. Then we have financial policies. At the end of the day, as I said, cooperative sector is one where the professionalism is lacking, and if the professionals can be brought in, and if they can work out certain financial policies, accounting policies, system, procedure, I think cooperative sector can make wonders. And then, of course, as I say, auditing should be taken as the last recourse. If I have shown you this slide in the financial management, advisory management, auditing should be taken as the last. But unfortunately, chartered accountants are looking auditing as the only avenue available in any business sector. So therefore, my suggestion to the participants today is that let us concentrate on the cooperatives and develop our business practice. Now the question arises: what is this cooperative enterprise all about? Why we call it as a cooperative society? But if you look at the International Cooperative Alliance across the globe, cooperative is always called as a cooperative enterprise. Some or the other, because it should be considered as a association of persons, the word cooperative society has been coming in various acts, and therefore we always call it a cooperative society. But abroad, when you look at other states, other countries, it is always called as a cooperative enterprise. So that itself, the wording itself makes so much clear. Now the question comes: what is this cooperative enterprise or a cooperative society all about? Naturally, cooperative society is a jointly owned business enterprise in a cooperative principles, where the properties and the business are owned by the members jointly, and then it is managed and maintained in a democratic setup where the people are also elected democratically. Similarly, the question arises then how it is getting regulated, which is the act applicable. Naturally, there is a two states, one state act and the other is a multi-state cooperative society act. These are the two acts. Every state government incorporates or has its own law. that is a cooperative law, to take care of the cooperative business within the state. But if it goes beyond the state, naturally, Multi-State Cooperative Society Act 2002 is applicable. Now, the question arises, what type of societies we can do? Naturally, there are housing societies, social enterprise, banks, agricultural society, marketing society, weaving mills, sugar mills, hospitals, printing mills, accounting services, tutorage classes, you name the services, you name the activity, commercial activity that can be done under cooperatives. The only thing is it should be for the purpose of or in the principles of cooperatives. Now the question arises, what are the objectives? Why government is promoting? Why a chartered accountant as a partner in nation building should look into cooperatives as one of the avenues to explore? The reason is the objective of the cooperative is to explore opportunity to increase employment. Cooperative gives a lot of employment because this is the member who comes out with the enterprise wherein he also gets an employment. He also is entitled to take the salary. He is entitled to take the bonus for the services that he render. And this business enterprise, which we are talking about, is resulting into uplifting the standard of living of economically weaker section. The next thing comes, what is the definition of the cooperatives? The definition of a cooperative, as International Cooperative Alliance has said, is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic. The most important thing is economic, social, and cultural needs and aspiration through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. This definition, which is given by the International Cooperative Alliance, will certainly tell you that cooperative is an association of persons and it is a separate entity and separate than the members, and it is undertaking economic, social, and cultural needs of the aspiring through the jointly owned enterprises, which has got a democratic control. Now the question is, what are the principles? There are basically 7 principles of cooperatives. One is voluntary membership, which is anybody can join anytime and anybody can resign anytime, but they are governed by the members recruitment policy, rules, admissions, and other things. Then the democratic member control, which means there will be constitution, voting rights, role on the board, members, management, and naturally the question arises that members are going to elect the management, and through the democratic system with the secret voting, and there will be the election rules. There comes economic participation of the members. This is a very important principles where members, once they become a member of the society, they are also going to take the avail the services of the society. Whether it is a consumer society, they will buy the consumer goods. If it is a consumable goods, and if it is a bank, they will take the loan or keep the deposit. If it is a credit society, they will either keep a deposit or take the loan. So they also take participation in the business activity. It's an autonomous and independent body. Education and training is another principles. Cooperation among the cooperatives and taking concern for the community is another important thing. Now, having said that, if these are the cooperative principles, what are the activities that can be undertaken? I would say cooperative enterprise is giving a business opportunity, and naturally, these are the some of the activities which can be done. It starts with agriculture, food, retail, wholesale, housing, childcare, community development, financial services, community economic development, media, communication, arts, culture, transportation, energy, environment, travel, education, research. Look at the type of activity that can be done. Federation, association. Believe me, if you go to US, you will find funeral services cooperative society. जिंदगी के साथ भी, जिंदगी के बाद भी. So this is the culture and the cooperative which has taken. Now the question arises: is it available only in the rural areas? Is it available in the economically weaker societies or sections, or in the developing countries? The answer is no. These are available even across the globe. And let me show you that Canada, nearly 33% people are in cooperatives. Norway, 33%. UK, 9.8 million. China, 188 million. India, 236 million. So look at the various people where 800 million people are members of cooperative around the world. Now, these are the state-wise primary cooperative societies which are being registered, taken care by the National Cooperative Database. So if you look at each states, each where the societies have been registered are taken care. So like this, if you can see, there are about 8,06,650 society across the India which are registered. If you look at this, the question arises, in Maharashtra, how many is there? Maharashtra, out of entire India, Maharashtra has nearly 25% of the societies. That is, out of 8 lakh, more than 25% societies are only in Maharashtra. That is about 2,17,410. That itself will give you a idea as how Maharashtra has progressed under the co-produce and why this model cannot be replicated across other states, and it has also been taken by the central government, union government, that the farm law which has been repealed. Now, if the farmer has to be empowered, given additional income, naturally the agriculture is one which can help. The next comes how the cooperatives function. Naturally, cooperatives, we have act under which it is registered. We have rules framed under the act, naturally to implement the provisions of the act. Then every society, the way company has a articles and memorandum, bylaws will be there, which is registered. Thereafter, there are notification and orders issued from time to time. Then the next comes the type of societies. As I said, it can be multi-state cooperative societies, registered by Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act, and the regulated by the states, the state cooperatives. The development of the law, if you have to look at, it started in the year 1904. Then Central Act for all type of societies other than credit, that is about non-credit. Cooperatives became a state subject in the year 1919. Various states have enacted their own law. Maharashtra Cooperative Act, Kerala Societies Act, then multi-state cooperative in the year 2002. Again, earlier it was 1984. Before that it was 1948. And then, in order to bring this as the subject which is going to be uniform across India, 97th Constitutional Amendment also has been done. So, what is the beauty of the 97th Constitutional Amendment? That is, formation of cooperative society has now become a fundamental right. Under Article 19(1)(c), it is now fundamental right. Second, there is a directive principles which have been given, amended in the Constitution, Article 43(b), which says that every state government shall ensure voluntary formation of the societies, which is again under Article 19, which is a constitutional fundamental right. Autonomous functioning, which means it will be autonomous and independent. Democratic control, which means there has to be independent election authority and professional management. The moment the word professional management has come, that is where the chartered accountants come in, and that is why I'm saying that we as a chartered accountant need to get into the depth of the Cooperative Act, rules, regulations, regulations, and then help these 8 lakh cooperative societies, which are already registered, and on day-to-day basis, the societies are increasing. 97th Constitution, the term of the elected body is 5 years. Active members, economic participation should be the main criteria. There will be professional management, there will be women and SC/ST will be given reservation. Independent professional audit will be there. Right to information to the members. Empowering government, government empowers to the members by providing periodical reports. Government also will obtain the periodical reports, and if there is any offense or there are any violations, they will be considered as an offense. And naturally, the relating to cooperative societies, there will be huge penalties which are levied. The next question arises, why this 97th Constitutional Amendment? The reason is, and what they want to ensure is good governance. The way we have a corporate culture, good governance, corporate governance, they want to bring cooperative governance. In order to bring cooperative governance, what are the 7 things which are included? One is principles of democratic member control. That means through an active member. Only active member can elect the representative. Second is autonomous and independent functioning, professional management, avoid political interference and corruption in the functioning of the societies and with the authorities with whom we are interacting as a management. The next comes improve the administration and improve the reporting system to the government on the basis of annual reporting. There are nearly 6 types of annual reporting which has to be given. Those are all taken online, and then of course it has to be reported to the members, to the general body. Good accounting and auditing practices has to be adopted. Therefore, the NPA norms and other things have been included. And in the multi-state cooperative, which of course our colleague CA Amit More will take it, and accountability to the management and the members. This is all is ensured to the 97 constitutional amendment. Now the question arises, what is this new union ministry is doing? Why in the year 2021 new ministry has come? Because the government has realized that cooperation brings prosperity. Sarkar says Samruddhi. Sarkar says Samruddhi, or cooperation brings prosperity is the slogan. And therefore, in order to strengthen the cooperative movement and to deepening its reach to the grassroots, that is, grassroots means at village level, the cooperative based economic development, creation of appropriate policy, legal and institutional framework is being given by the union government. Believe me, they came out with the new building, new office setup for the entire ministry. They have invested more than 5,000 crores in developing the software and other various initiatives, and each of the rural area cooperative societies are getting connected with the district central bank, from district to state central cooperative bank, and then to NABARD, and then to the Ministry of Agriculture. And therefore, each day, even in the society is getting registered, the annual reports are getting filed. The way the digital is used in the companies and the corporates, same thing is getting incorporated in the cooperatives. Therefore, we cannot take it as lightly. So if at all we take it as lightly, there will be other people who will occupy that space. And this is the date in the April 2024. That's hardly 2 months back. Just before the election, these are the 54 initiatives which have been announced, and a lot of things have been done by this union government. And now it becomes a responsibility as a chartered accountant, as a partner in the nation building, to understand all this and see how we can professionally explore our opportunities. So in order to explore the professional opportunity, I always say that you need to get into 4A's. What are those 4A's? The first is we need to be able to create awareness. And in order to create an awareness about the new initiative, naturally we should be knowing it. And that is what this committee is now doing it. Secondly, the moment you create an awareness, naturally people will start appreciating. The people who are looking for this type of avenues will start appreciating. When they start appreciating, they will start accepting it. The moment they accept your ideas, the education, training, whatever you give, or the knowledge that you share, naturally they start accepting. That means the movement has started. And the last is we achieve what we are looking at. We achieve the growth in the economy, we achieve the higher GDP, and the most important thing is to help the farmers who are in the rural area to increase their standard of living. Now the question arises, what are the various initiatives? There are nearly, the initiatives are divided into A to K. Now there are 54 initiatives. There is a PPT which is available with you. So I request you to go through the PPT in detail, because in next 5 minutes, I would like to end here saying that the Union Ministry has undertaken 54 initiatives. Let me read out these initiatives of 54 initiatives into 11 proper segments. The first segment is economic strengthening of primary cooperative societies at the rural area. The government has now realized that, or even otherwise also earlier government has always said, and we also know, that India lives in villages. If we need to stop the migration to the urban area, we need to empower the rural area. The only system which can be growing is cooperatives, because the union government initiative of corporatizing the farming sector has not been accepted by the public at large. But the cooperatives have been accepted across the India and the global in the agriculture sector, and therefore they are going to strengthen the primary cooperative society. Another question arises, how they will strengthen? They are going to strengthen by giving financial aid. They are also going to establish, the next is 3 multi-state cooperative societies at the national level. What these multi-states will do? They will look at the marketing, e-marketing. There are multi-state, national multi-state cooperative societies of exports, seeds, fertilizer. So many things under multi-state cooperative societies, they are going to be imported as well as exported, and there will be certain things done. Now, these primary agriculture societies which are going to be there, they will be given around 300 economic activity which is undertaken by the central government, whether it is Aadhaar, various e-services, then LPG connection, then you are given dealership of the petrol, diesels, and various other initiatives, including, farming. That is a farmers producers society or farmers producer company, which is getting registered under Companies Act, also will be increased. And the government has already laid down the roadmap that 2 lakh cooperative societies, 2 lakh cooperative societies additional are going to be established in the rural area. At least 2 to 3 villages will be taken together, and one additional multi-purpose cooperative society in the name of primary cooperative society will be formed. 3 multi-state cooperative society, as I said, one is the multi-state seed societies, then the fertilizer, and another is the export cooperative society. Then relief of income tax for lower, whatever is the income tax right now, we have got about 30% income tax, which will be reduced to 15%. Surcharge has been reduced from 7% to 12%. The 269 SS, which otherwise was applicable to others, that has been relaxed. So many relief under income tax also has been already made an amendment in the act and is available to the cooperatives. Strengthening of the Office of Central Register, as I said, the new building has been done. Everything has been online. Digitalization has been done. Kisan cards are given, and everybody now it's linked. Each of the person's accounts are linked with the Aadhaar and the banking. Revival of cooperative sugar mills, because sugar mill is also facing a lot of problem, whether it is related to the funding or even some of the expenses which otherwise was made by the sugar mills were not allowed under the cooperatives, that also has been allowed under the income tax. So sugar mills also 5 initiatives are there. Redressal of difficulties faced by the cooperative bank, for which various ombudsman, various other services and professional management are also given. Expansion of National Cooperative Development Corporation, where around 10,000 crores grant has been allocated, and they will be giving this money to the various units. Inclusion of cooperative society buyer in the government e-market. See, the cooperative societies now can buy under the government e-market, as well as they can also trade their commodities. So there will be digital marketing platform which is made available for the cooperatives. National Cooperative Policy and new National Cooperative Database. I'm so happy to say that none other than C.A. Suresh Prabhu, who was the earlier minister, is heading the panel. Anyone, if you can recollect, our chairman of the committee, Chandrasekhar Chitle, has rightly pointed out, it is C.A. Suresh Prabhu, who is our member of the institute, who has been heading 40-member panel in getting this implemented. And therefore, the minister has already been in touch with our institute, saying that the way we have made GST as a popular and implemented, RERA also has got implemented. Therefore, it is a mission of the institute as well as the government that the chartered accountant should be acting as an advisor, and they should take this as a great opportunity for themselves. So national database and the computerization. Education and training, yes, we are institute also has planned to do a lot of trainers training program where chartered accountant will be brought, and n number of faculties are also finalized, and the committee has already decided to have at least 2 to 3 trainers training program, that is a leadership development program across India. And the first, of course, is going to be held in Uttan or Mumbai, that is called Bhainder, where it is being planned. So I request you to be part of that 2 or 3 days program, where various faculties across India will be coming, authorities will be coming from the department, and then they will be guiding. And there are other initiatives which have been taken. I'm not taking much of the time. As I said, number of things are already given over here. You may go through the PPT, understand. I think for the timing, I just hand over the session to my colleague, CA Amit More. Thank you very much, Amit, and over to you. I once again thank the institute for giving me this opportunity and to share whatever that learning I had for the last 34 years in the cooperative sector. Thank you. Over to you, Amit.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Now I will start with the multi-state cooperative societies amendments.
because in this as we were discussing, in order to promote the sector, and after the 97th constitutional amendment was upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court as to be applicable to the none other than the multi-states, the uh, the earlier government has introduced the bill on 29 July. 3rd August it got implemented or amended, and 4th August we got the rules also amended, which means the speed in which the government is functioning is a huge. And let me tell you, the government has taken it seriously to have as many as cooperatives are possible, and a lot of support we are getting, and therefore multi-state society is also one of the areas available, and the types of amendment also will be discussed by Amit More, and then question answer whether it is related to the initiatives or otherwise. Amit More will take it. Thank you very much, Amit. Over to you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving basic introduction, then cooperative movement, and also initiative of central government, including formation of separate ministry for cooperative. So there are lots of initiative have taken by central government. One of the initiative is amendment in the old Act of Multi-State Cooperative Societies. The original act was formed in the year 2002, and now there is an amendment in 2023 to make it in line with the current provisions and with the vision of the government. What we did is we have consolidated entire act in a PowerPoint presentation. In black color font, there are old provisions, and in red color font, there are amendments. So that since this is a new act, new learning thing for all the participants, we thought we should give the entire act copy along with the amendments, because only amendments may not be useful. So these are the amendments. We will take amendments by section only. And out of that, the amendments which are too much of importance, we will focus on those amendments, and other amendments are already there. Few amendments are self-explanatory. I'm sharing entire PPT with the organizers so that all the participants will be benefited with this PPT. There is an amendment in the authority definition. That is, authority means cooperative election authority established under subsection 1 of section 45. There are amendments in 97 constitutional thing in the year 2012. So in the year 2012, there was a 97 constitutional amendment making cooperative as a big thing, and many amendments made by that constitutional amendment. But after that constitutional amendment, there was no such amendment in Multi-State Cooperative Act. But though the act was a central act, there were few confusions related with constitutional amendments, which provisions are applicable, which provisions are not applicable. To make in line with 97th constitutional amendment, now there is an amendment in the act itself. So authority is a state cooperative election authority established under section subsection 1 of section 45. This particular authority will be responsible for the conducting elections in multi-state cooperative societies. Then there is an amendment in definition of central registrar. Earlier, registrar means a registrar of cooperative societies appointed under subsection 1 of section 4. But now there is an amendment as per clause F of article 243 ZH. This amendment in 97 constitutional amendment in article 243 ZH of a constitution. As per that particular constitution, this is a separate post created as a central registrar, and central registrar with its officers and powers are mentioned as per article 243 ZH are now responsible or known as a central registrar. Then they have inserted a cooperative ombudsman, just like a ombudsman by a Reserve Bank of India. This is a ombudsman by a cooperative society. This is introduced as a new initiative. So anything related with any irregularity, any deficiency in service by any cooperative organization, information officer, you can go to cooperative ombudsman This is appointed by central government under section 85A. This is a new amendment and very important amendment. Then earlier there was a definition of cooperative year. Now the cooperative year definition is replaced by financial year. Of course, that cooperative year was also from 1st of April to 31st of March. But now to remove the discrepancy in the definitions, they have inserted a financial year concept in multi-state cooperative society. So this is a regular April to March financial year they were introduced in this particular. Then there is a important definition in central register and registration of multi-state cooperative society. Under this particular amendment, without prejudice to the provisions of subsection 1 of the central register, may register any multi-state cooperative society if the aggregate value of paid up capital and provisions of reserves along with the liquidity, exposure and other prudential norms specified in the bylaws of proposed multi-state cooperative society. Earlier, for a formation of cooperative society, there is a permission from registrar was required. Now, without any permission of registrar of the state, any society want to register as a multi-state cooperative society and having that liquidity, exposure and other prudential norms available, they can directly apply without application to the state registering authority. They can directly apply to the central registrar for the registration, provided that the multi-state cooperative society registered before the commencement of Multi-State Cooperative Act, Societies Amendment Act 2023, shall meet such norms within the period of 5 years from the date of commencement of the said. So whatever changes in this particular Multi-State Cooperative Act, any society formed prior to this particular amendment need to be in line within a period of 5 years from the start of this particular amendment. If there are any liquidity, exposure and prudential norms deficiencies of any existing societies, they need to repair that within that period of 5 years. That is what this particular amendment is saying. Provided also that in case of multi-state cooperative bank, the aggregate value of paid up capital and provisions of reserves along with the liquidity norms provided by the bylaws shall be such as may be laid down by the Reserve Bank from time to time. So, multi-state cooperative society, which is a multi-state cooperative bank, they need to follow the liquidity norms given by the Reserve Bank of India from time to time. The application for registration shall be disposed of by the central registrar within a period of 3 months from the date of receipt of such application by them. Earlier, there was no such time restriction. Now there is a time restriction of 3 months from the date of 3 months from the receipt of application. The central registrar need to give dispose of the application for registration. If there are any rectification of mistakes or any application requirements, they may extend this particular time of 3 months for that particular period for removal of those defects and rectification issues. Where the central registrar refuse the register multi-state cooperative society, he shall communicate in order to he shall communicate the order of such refusal within a period specified in subsection 3, that is within a period of 3 months or such extended period of 2 months. He should communicate to the society, and provided that no order for refusal shall be made unless the applicant has been given an opportunity of being heard. So opportunity of being heard should be given before such refusal. Provided further that if application of registration is not disposed of within the period of 3 months or such extended period of 2 months, the central registrar fails to communicate such thing, then such society shall be considered as a deemed registered society. This is the amendment. In addition to name and address of the society, they have inserted the email addresses of the society also in this particular amendment. Then there is a major change related with, just hold on. Earlier, there was a requirement of majority of the members who can be part of passing the resolution to convert a society from a ordinary society to multi-state cooperative society. In this particular amendment, any society may by resolution pass by majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting at general meeting of such society decide to merge into an existing multi-state cooperative society. So this is a new amendment that if any society wants to become a part of any existing multi-state cooperative society, then 2/3 members who are present for the meeting and voting, eligible voting, then they can pass such resolution and be a part of existing multi-state cooperative society, provided that such resolution shall be subject to the provisions of the respective State Cooperative Societies Act for the time being in force. So before passing such resolution, that resolution should be as per the State Cooperative Societies Act appropriate resolution. Then there is an amendment related with cooperative society that shall be deemed to have been deregistered under the law relating to such cooperative society for the time being in force in that state. From time to time, the certificate as issued by central registrar and forwarded to such registered society along with a copy of registered amendment under subsection 3. So if there is a society which is deemed to have been deregistered under the law, then it should be as per subsection 3 of the Act. In a amended Act, Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act 2023, they have inserted a definition of nominal and associate member, which is in line with 97 constitutional amendment. The revised wording of this amendment is provided further that nominal or associate member can be issued a non-voting shares which may be non-confer any interest of the management of the multi-state cooperative societies, including right to vote to be elected as a director of the board or participate in general meetings of the board. So nominal member or associate member earlier they were having in if you can see over here, provided that no such nominal associate member shall have any interest in the management thereof, including right to vote. So they have inserted this that nominal and associate member cannot take a part in voting as per after this particular amendment. Earlier they were part of voting in the managing committee or in general body meetings, but now they have non-voting rights, provided also that in case of multi-state cooperative banks, such shares shall be issued in accordance with the instructions issued by the Reserve Bank of India from time to time. So in case of multi-state cooperative society, which is a multi-state cooperative bank, this nominal or associate membership shares can be issued only after providing, only after satisfying norms issued by Reserve Bank of India from time. They have inserted section 28 by making members not to exercise right till due date or due payment is made. Earlier, this was not the case. So a non-participating or non-active member can also take part in voting of that particular society. Now, after this amendment, only an active member or who participate in the regular economic activities of the society, only that member is eligible for vote. That is, no member of a cooperative society shall exercise the right of a member unless he has made the payment of all the dues. Earlier, that was not the situation. Now, to take a participation in a society, to give a vote in that particular society, that particular member should pay all his dues of the societies, including the payment in respect of membership or avail such minimum level of product or services as specified as per the bylaw. Say, for example, if any society, if there is a requirement that he should have a minimum 50,000 rupees contribution in that particular society, then only he can pay, then only he can participate in voting of that particular society. Or if as per bylaw of the society, there is a specific requirement of minimum number of availment of advances within a period of say 1 year or 2 years, then that particular condition also to be satisfied, then only that particular member can participate in the voting of that particular society. If he fails to use the minimum level of product or services as specified in bylaws of 2 consecutive years, this is also one more addition in the Amendment Act. That is, if there is a consumer society or primary agricultural society, then that particular member should utilize product or services of that particular society at least for a period of once in a period of 2 consecutive years. So that is a requirement. If that particular member is not utilizing the service, then he cannot take a participation in the business of the society. Then there is an amendment in section 35, subsection 1, that is shares of the authorities referred in clause C and D of subsection 1 of section 25 held in multi-state cooperative society shall not be redeemed without the prior approval of such authority. So if any person is having shares and he want to redeem such shares, that particular shares can be redeemed only after prior approval of such society. May be redeemed in such a manner as may be agreed upon between the multi-state cooperative society and such authority. So if there are shares in any authority, then that particular shares can be redeemed only after prior approval of that particular authority. You cannot directly withdraw your shares from any authority. The shares held in multi-state cooperative society by any of the authorities referred in clause E to G of subsection 1 of section 25 shall be redeemed in accordance with the bylaws of such multi-state cooperative society, and in case where such bylaws do not contain any provision of such manner as may be agreed upon between the multi-state cooperative society and such authority. So for any approval, for any redemption of shares, prior approval of the authorities must as per bylaw also, and if there is no such provision in bylaw, then the society need to rely on the decision of the authority. Then there is an important amendment regarding appointment of auditor, which we will discuss later on. But as rightly said and pointed out by Prabhu sir, now there is a panel of auditors for multi-state cooperative societies, and that panel is in 2 parts. That is, societies having deposits more than 500 crores and societies having deposits less than 500 crores. That 2 stage or 2 part panel is there already for multi-state cooperative society, and appointment of auditor should be from that particular panel only. Then there is a major amendment in number of directors or board of directors or managing committee members of the society. The board shall consist of such number of directors not exceeding 21. So apart from your existing number of directors as per bylaws of the society, now the maximum number of directors shall not exceed 21 as per this new amendment. And there is a reservation condition also in this particular new amendment. One SC, that is scheduled caste or scheduled tribe member in that particular board is compulsory. 2 women candidates are compulsory in this particular board of directors. Now, if there is no one from the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or woman candidate available, then those posts will be vacant, and those posts cannot be filled by general category, and those posts will be vacant for a period of 5 years for that particular term of that particular managing committee or board of directors. That particular post should be filled in by that particular category only. Then maximum number cannot exceed 21 in any case, but you can have a co-opted members in a board which is having experience in the field of banking or management or cooperative management or finance or any other specified field which is related with activity of that particular society. You can have 2 more members in addition to 21 members as a expert directors in that particular society, but those expert directors will not have any kind of voting rights, or they don't have any right to participate in annual general body meetings of the society. So provided further that the number of such co-opted members shall not exceed 2 in addition to 21 directors specified in this subsection. The co-opted directors referred in subsection 3 shall not have any right to vote in any election of the office bearers or be eligible to be elected office bearers of the board. They cannot become an office bearer. They can only become an expert director only for suggestions and guidance purpose. The functional or expert directors in a multi-state cooperative society shall also be a member of the board, and such directors shall be excluded for the purpose of counting a total number of directors specified in subsection 3. So subsection 3 can have maximum number of 21 directors, and these expert directors should not be counted for that particular. Then one more additional and important amendment, that no director of a multi-state cooperative society shall also a director be present in a discussion or a vote on any contract or arrangement agreed into or entered into or on behalf of the society if he or his relative is directly or indirectly concerned or interested in such contract. So no director can participate in any kind of meeting or decision-making process where he or his relative are directly or indirectly interested in that particular contract. Further, the sitting directors of the multi-state cooperative society shall be recruited as an employee, including the chief executive officer of that particular society. Now, for the purpose of this particular definition of relative, number of relationships mentioned over here. There are total 24 relationships mentioned over here, right from spouse, father, mother, son, son's wife, daughter, daughter's husband, father's father, father's mother, mother's father, mother's mother, son's son, son's wife, son's daughters, husband, daughter's son. All those relationships, including Hindu undivided family, all those 24 relationships are mentioned over here. So if any director is directly or indirectly, or his relative is directly or indirectly interested in any contract or any activity, then such director shall not be part of that particular decision-making process, and he cannot participate in voting for that particular decision-making process. Any director on board who violates any provision of above subsection shall be disqualified for being a member of the board and deemed to have vacated his office from the date of such meeting of board as it referred to in subsection, and such proceeding shall be deemed to be void. So if any director took any part for any such activity, then he can be declared as disqualified from the date of such meeting when he taken such participation of that particular meeting. Then there is a provision, section 43, subsection 1, clause A, they have added, this is related with disqualification of being member of the board. So any member is disqualified for being member of the board if he has become insolvent, if he is a director of any insolvent company. So a person who is a director of any insolvent company, so if any company became insolvent, that particular director of that particular company cannot become a part of board of director in any cooperative act. Then whenever such type of disqualification happens under subsection 7 of section 41, which we just saw, a member who has been a director of a board of any multi-state cooperative society or cooperative bank, where such board has been suspended or shall not be eligible to be elected as a director of a board of another multi-state cooperative society or a cooperative bank for a period of 5 years from the date of such suspension. This is as per 97 constitutional amendment. This is in line with 97 constitutional amendment. When any person is declared as a disqualified or debarred or suspended from any cooperative society for a period of 5 years, then he will be disqualified to become a director in any cooperative society for a period of 5 years throughout India, provided that no member shall be declared ineligible under this subsection unless an opportunity of being heard has been given to him. So, opportunity of being heard should be given to that particular member before declaring such member as disqualified for a period of 5 years. Further, this particular section says to provide an information, document, personnel, funds or expenses of any other assistance as required by Cooperative Election Authority for conduct of election under this act in such manner as may be prescribed. So, this is in line with his qualification or disqualification. So, under section 43, disqualification of being member of a board, there is one provision, that is at the time of disqualification, he has to provide all information regarding with documents, personal, funds or expenses or any other assistance as required by Cooperative Election Authority for conduct of election under this act. So this is in line with central election process. To make such contribution to Cooperative Education Fund referred to in clause B of subsection 1 of section 63 or the Cooperative Rehabilitation or Reconstitution Scheme. So, a disqualification of a member or a board as per section 43 is in line with just hold on. This particular provision, once he is disqualified for a period of 5 years, and one of the reasons for becoming a disqualification is he is not contributing for this particular fund, or he is responsible for not filing of annual return as per section 120 within the time specified therein. As per amendment in 97 constitutional provision, every cooperative society has to file their annual return under cooperative law within 6 months from the end of the financial year. So if a person is responsible for non-filing of annual returns within section 120, that is within 6 months from the end of financial year, then he is eligible to become a disqualified as a director of a society. Then not getting books of accounts audited within 6 months from the end of the financial year is also one of the reasons to become a disqualified as a director of a society. So if any person satisfies any of the provision, any of the condition which is mentioned under this particular act, which makes him disqualified for that particular society, then he will be disqualified for becoming a director of any multi-state cooperative society throughout the India. And of course, for before taking any such action, an opportunity of being heard is to be given to that particular member. Election of a cooperative society, multi-state cooperative society, is to be done through established cooperative election authority, which we will see later on. The central government shall by notification establish an authority to be known as Cooperative Election Authority. So any managing committee is to be selected. Rather, we should use the word selected. It should be elected only and only through the central election authority appointed for that particular purpose by the central government. This central election authority, cooperative election authority, shall consist of chairperson, vice chairperson, member not exceeding 3 to be appointed by central government. So central government will constitute a election authority which is known as a cooperative election authority, and that particular election authority will be by way of selection by central government, and that particular election authority will conduct election in a society. The head office of such authority shall be at such place as may be notified by the central government, and a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a chairperson of the authority unless he held the post of chairperson of authority, post of additional secretary to the government of India or equivalent rank. So how the selection of a central cooperative election authority is to be formed, that is given in this particular amended act itself. That is, the chairperson of the authority should be equivalent to the post of additional secretary to the government of India. A vice chairman should be authority unless he held the post of joint secretary of government of India or equivalent rank, and members should be fulfill such qualification and experience as may be prescribed by central government. The chairperson, vice chairperson, and the member of the authority shall hold the office for a period of 3 years from the date on which they enter into the office or until they attain the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier, and they shall be eligible for reappointment. So the constitution of the committee of cooperative election authority, the validity of their post is of 3 years or 65 years of age, and they are also eligible for reappointment till the year of 65 years of age. The salary and allowances payable are also included in the Amendment Act itself. Then next amendment is related with power of chairperson of the election authority. The chairperson of the authority shall have powers of general superintendence and directions in conflict of affairs of the authority, and he shall, in addition to presiding over the meeting of the authority, exercise and discharge such other powers and functions as may be prescribed. So these are the powers of chairperson. Removal and suspension of chairperson and vice chairperson and members are in the hands of central governments, and they, by way of order, remove chairman, vice chairman, and member of the committee, and other than ex officio member of the committee as per the required process that is given under this amended act. We will just go ahead with this particular act. Formation of the Constitutional Committee for election process. Now this is important, section 45J, election of members of the board. No person shall be eligible to be elected as a member of the board or office bearer of a multi-state cooperative society unless he is an active member of general body of that society. So to become a elected person or a director in that particular society, that particular person should be having a status of active member in the general body of the society. So who can become an active member? That active member's definition is already there in 97 Constitutional Amendment. Explanation for the purpose of this section, the term active member is defined over here. Active member means availing minimum level of product and services of the society. So a person should avail minimum level of product and services from the society. Attending not less than 3 consecutive general meetings as specified in section 29. So he should attend 3 consecutive general body meetings. He should at least 3 consecutive general body meetings to become eligible of a member of a board of the society. A member of the board of the or office bearer of a multi-state cooperative society shall cease to become such member or office bearer if he ceases to be member of general body of that particular society. That means a person, if he loses his status of active member, then he automatically loses his status to become an office bearer of a multi-state cooperative society. The election of a member of a board shall be held by secret ballot in such manner as may be prescribed. So this is just equivalent to our election process. So secret ballot paper through election is mandatory. The election of a member of the board shall be held in general meeting of the members of a multi-state cooperative society, and the elected member or a board shall be, if the bylaws of the society permit, be eligible for re-election. So existing member can be eligible for re-election only if the bylaw of the society permits. So we need to check bylaw of the society also. The term of the office bearer of the elected member of the board and its office bearer shall be 5 years from the date of election, and the term of office bearer shall be coterminous with the term of the board. So overall term of the board will be of 5 years from the date of election, and office bearers election within the board is also to be done for a period of 5 years only, provided that the board may fill the casual vacancy up to the period of 1/3 of number of elected directors on the board by nomination out of the same class of member in respect of which the casual vacancies has arisen, if the term of office bearer board is less than half of its original terms. This means if there is a casual vacancy and it can be filled by the remaining board of directors only if the total period of office bearer's term is less than 2.5 years. So total period of board is of 5 years, and if there is a remaining period of 2.5 years, then such kind of casual vacancy can be filled in by remaining members of elected directors, and they have to maintain the same class of directors, that if there is a reservation vacancy, then it should be filled in by co-option from the reservation class only. Provided further that in case of number of such casual vacancies in the same term of the board exceeds 1/3 of number of elected directors, such casual vacancies shall be filled by elections only. So if there are more than 1/3 of vacancies in a board, then such vacancies shall be filled in only by way of election and not by way of co-option. The expenses for holding the election by the authority shall be borne by the multi-state cooperative society in such manner as may be prescribed. So entire expenses for the elections are to be borne by the society itself. The central government may make rules to provide for such powers and procedure to be followed by the authority for conduct of election of members of the board. So there are separate circulars how to conduct such election of multi-state cooperative societies, and such elections are to be conducted by way of following norms of those circulars. The chairperson and chief executive of multi-state cooperative society shall inform the authority 6 months before the expiry of terms of existing board. So before the expiry of their existing term, 6 months before that, they have to apply for re-election and reconduct of elections within time frame. The multi-state cooperative society in respect of which the election is being held shall be provide such infrastructure, personnel, information and documents or assistance to the authority as may be required. So the society is responsible for providing all the facilities to the election authority. Then section 45K is related with appointment of returning officer and other officers. Appointment of returning officers and other officers are to be discussed in consultation with the central government through the cooperative election officer, and that particular cooperative election officer will appoint the returning officer and other office bearers to conduct the elections. That is given under section 45K, and that is related with elections. That is the reason I am skipping that particular part. Earlier, after election of a board, appointment of office bearers was to be done by way of selection in the board of director itself. Now, there is an amendment in that particular provision to elect the chairperson and vice chairperson or president and vice president of multi-state cooperative society from the elected members of the board in accordance with the directions of the authority. So, to elect chairperson and vice chairperson, or we can say president and vice president of a multi-state cooperative society, the directions of authority are to be followed, provided that the certificate of election shall be issued by the chief executive and multi-state cooperative society after conclusion of resolution by the board. So, meeting of the board of directors or first meeting of board of directors should be conducted in front of the election officer or presiding officer or returning officer, and chairman and vice chairman are to be elected in that particular meeting or as per the directions of the authority. This is an amendment. Then provided that the recruitment of employees shall be subject to the such procedure as may be prescribed. This is also a welcome amendment, that is recruitment of employees are subject to the procedure as may be prescribed. So earlier there was no such recruitment facility or recruitment procedure was mentioned under the Act. Now there is an amendment in the Act that recruitment of employees shall be subject to such procedures as may be prescribed. So procedure will be prescribed by the central authority or central registrar, and as per that particular process only there should be a recruitment in a society. Then meeting of the board. There is an amendment in meeting of the board, which is a very strict amendment and very stringent amendment. That is provided that where such chairperson or president fails to direct the chief executive to convey the meeting of the board of directors within the quarter, such chief executive shall convey the meeting on the basis of requisition of a vice chairman or vice president or any other member of the board. So like there is a requirement of quarterly meeting of board of director in case of a Companies Act. This is a requirement, that is in every quarter there should be a meeting, in a compulsory meeting of board of directors, and if chairman or president fails to call such meeting, then any other member including the vice chairman or vice president can instruct the chief executive officer to call for such meeting. Provided further that notwithstanding anything contained in the first proviso, the chief executive may also convey the meeting on the basis of requisition from at least 50% of the members of the board. So if there is no meeting called by chairperson or a president or any other member of the board, then also the chief executive officer can convey the meeting on the basis of requisition from at least 50% of the members of the board. So 50% of the members of the board can also call for the meeting through chief executive officer. The chairperson or president, if for the reason is unable to attend the meeting of the board, the vice chairperson or vice president, and in absence of the both, any other member of the board chosen by the members of the board present amongst them can preside the meeting. So this provision was not there earlier. So president or vice president, in absence of president or vice president, any other member chosen by the members can preside the meeting. The quorum for such meeting of board of directors of a multi-state cooperative society shall be 1/3 of its total member of elected directors. So number of elected directors excluding the seats remain vacant should be considered as a total strength of the board, and 1/3 of that should be required for formation of a quorum of a society. Then section 51 subsection 1A was inserted, that is, no multi-state cooperative society shall appoint or continue the employment of any person as a chief executive who is below age of 21 years of age or has attained age of 70 years. So age less than 21 and more than 70 is not eligible to become a chief executive officer. If there is such person is existing prior to this particular amendment should be retired with immediately. In addition to that, provided that if any person above the age of 70 may be appointed as a by way of special resolution passed by 3/4 of board members, in which case the explanatory statement annexed to the notice for such motion shall indicate the justification for appointment of such person. So if any society wants to appoint a person whose age is more than 70 years, then there should be 3/4 board members special resolution to be passed in that particular phase. Is an undischarged insolvent or has any time been adjudged as insolvent? So any person who is insolvent or adjudged as insolvent for any period or any point of time should not be appointed as a chief executive officer of the society. One more condition, that he has at any time convicted by court for any offense or sentenced for a period more than 6 months. So any offense for which he is convicted for a period more than 6 months, then also he is not eligible for reappointment after introduction of this particular amendment. Then does not meet any criteria for fit and proper as determined by the central register. So in addition to this, central registrar may issue a direction, and if as per that particular criteria, if he is not fit and proper for that particular post, that particular person should not be appointed as a chief executive officer of a society. Then this is also a welcome addition, that is section 53 subsection 1. Board may constitute an executive committee and such other committees or subcommittees as may be specified in the bylaws of multi-state cooperative society for any specific reason, for any specific purpose. Subcommittees or executive committees can be formed. In addition to these two compulsory committees, so the board shall constitute. So these are the compulsory committees or executive committees to be formed after amendment of this particular act. That is an audit and ethics committee and a committee for prevention of sexual harassment at workplaces. These two committees are compulsorily to be formed in this particular multi-state cooperative societies after introduction of this particular amendment. Then next amendment is related with disposal of net profits. Section 63. This is a compulsory type of thing. This is just in line with CSR in case of a Companies Act, corporate social responsibility type of thing. Section 63, subsection 1B, credit annually 1% of net profit of cooperative education fund to be maintained by the central government in such manner as may be prescribed, and the proceeds from such fund shall be used for cooperative education and training through the National Cooperative Union of India and any other agency in such manner as may be determined by central government. So 1% annually to be kept aside as a portion for cooperative education and training thing, and that particular fund should be used for cooperative education and training only through notified institutions as notified by the central government. Then establishment of cooperative rehabilitation, reconstruction and development. So establishment of cooperative rehabilitation, reconstruction and development fund is now compulsory. The central government shall establish a fund to be called as cooperative rehabilitation, reconstruction and redevelopment fund for revival of sick multi-state cooperative societies as referred to in subsection 63B for redevelopment purpose of in such manner as may be determined by it, and there shall be credited to such fund annually by multi-state cooperative societies which are in profit for the preceding 3 financial year 1 crore rupees or 1% of the net profit of such cooperative society, whichever is less. So this is for the benefit of sick units. So to benefit the sick units and to revive the sick units, this type of provision is this amendment is made. This particular fund is to be established by central government, and contribution to that particular fund is to be made by multi-state cooperative society. The central government shall by notification constitute a committee consisting of such members as they may deem fit to administer the fund and maintain a separate account and other relevant records in relation to the fund in such a form as may be specified in the central government in constitution with the Controller and Auditor General of India. The committee shall spend the money out of the fund for carrying out the objects for which the funds has been established. The rehabilitation and reconstruction of sick societies, if at any time the central registrar is of the opinion that a multi-state cooperative society has become a sick, he may by order declare such society as sick cooperative society. So the decision is with the central registrar. So the central registrar on their own, out of their own findings, can declare any unit as a sick unit. Where a multi-state cooperative society is declared as a sick or cooperative society under subclause 1, the central government or any other person or agency authorized by it may prepare a scheme for rehabilitation and reconstruction of a society and hand it over to the society for approval of a general body. Of course, there is an exception to declare sick unit, provided that in respect of a sick multi-state cooperative bank, a cooperative multi-state cooperative society, which is a multi-state cooperative bank, such rehabilitation and reconstruction scheme is to be in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India and not otherwise. I will just go through the next part, which is related with auditor's appointment. Section 70, there is amendment in appointment of auditor and remuneration of auditor. Provided that such auditor or audit firm shall be appointed from a panel of approved by central registrar. Earlier, multi-state cooperative society was free to select any chartered accountant from practicing chartered accountant firm to become an auditor of a cooperative multi-state cooperative society. But after this amendment, auditor can be selected only through a panel approved by central registrar. Provided further that in case of a multi-state cooperative bank, multi-state cooperative societies with deposits above 500 crores rupees and multi-state non-credit society which turnover of above 500 crore rupees, the auditor shall be appointed from panel of auditors approved for audit of such societies by the central registrar. As I already said, there are two types of auditor category. One is auditor category for more than 500 crore societies and auditor for less than 500 crore societies. So appropriate auditor from appropriate category to be selected for these societies. An auditor appointed under subsection 2 shall be submit an audit of accounts report to the multi-state cooperative society within 6 months from the end of the closing of the financial year to which such account relate. So auditor can submit audit report within 6 months from the end of closing of financial year to the society. In addition to that, there is one more important amendment which is related with filling of casual vacancy. Any casual vacancy caused by resignation or death of an auditor, the auditor vacancy shall be filled by the board from the panel of auditors from which such auditor was appointed. A normal auditor to be appointed by multi-state cooperative society, that is a requirement to be appointed from the annual general body meeting. But a person appointed or an auditor appointed in annual general body meeting, if he gave his resignation or there is a death of an auditor, then such type of casual vacancy can be filled by the board from the panel of auditors from which the auditor was appointed. Then there is one more important amendment that is related with Section 70A, that is concurrent audit. In case of a multi-state cooperative society whose annual turnover is more than amount as determined by the central government, which is at present they have determined as 500 crores, then or the deposits more than amount determined by the central government, again that is 500 crores. So turnover is more than 500 crores or deposits are more than 500 crores. There is a compulsory appointment of concurrent auditor, again from the list of panel auditors, that is compulsory to be appointed by central register. So that is an important provision. Then there is one more important amendment. We are running short of time, so I will take important amendment, that is Section 73, subsection 3. There is a amendment related with powers of authority. The multi-state cooperative society or class of multi-state cooperative society, as the case may be, shall adopt such standards of auditing and accounting as may be determined by the central government. So all accounting and auditing standard issued by ICAI, which are compulsory to be appointed by all multi-state cooperative societies as determined by the central government. Provided that until such standard of auditing and accounting are specified, the auditing and accounting standards specified by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, constituted by subsection 1 of Section 3 of Chartered Accountants Act 1949, shall be deemed to be the standard of accounting and auditing. So, unless and until there is any contradictory circular provision or amendment in any accounting and auditing standard by a central register, all the accounting and auditing standard issued by ICAI are to be adopted. Provided further that the multi-state cooperative banks shall adopt the standard of accounting and auditing as laid down by the Reserve Bank. So, multi-state cooperative society, which is a multi-state cooperative bank, shall adopt the accounting standard and as prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India. Next, I will take the important amendment related with Section 85A. That is cooperative ombudsman. The central government shall appoint one or more cooperative ombudsman with the territory jurisdiction for inquiry into complaints made by member of multi-state cooperative society regarding their deposits, equitable benefits of society functioning, or any other issue. This is just in line with ombudsman with Reserve Bank of India. Like ombudsman appointed by Reserve Bank of India, this is a cooperative ombudsman appointed for the cooperative field. The cooperative ombudsman shall, on receipt of a complaint, complete the process of inquiry and adjudicate within a period of 3 months from the date of receipt of any complaint or any issue which is related with cooperative nature or related with multi-state cooperative society. And he should issue necessary directions to the society during the course of inquiry and the period of within a period of 1 month from the date of issuance of such directions. The multi-state cooperative society agreed by such direction of ombudsman may file an appeal in such a manner as may be prescribed within the period of 1 month before the central registrar, who shall decide the appeal within a period of 45 days from the decision of central registrar, shall be final and binding. So this is related with ombudsman. Then there is one more important amendment related with, I will take one more PPT. That is related with offences and penalties. This is for the working of members or board of directors of a society. There is an amendment that a member for having voted and refrained from voting shall be punishable with imprisonment for a period which may be extended of 6 months or a fine or with both and shall also be debarred for contesting election for a period of 3 years. So this is related with fraudulently taken any kind of decision. That particular person will be debarred from contesting of election for a period of 3 years, where a multi-state cooperative society which is required to provide an explanation or make any statement during the course of inspection, inquiry or investigation, destroys, mutilates or falsifies the conceals or tampers any authorized, removes or causes destruction, mutilation and falsification or conciliation or tampering or unauthorized removal of any document relating to any property, asset, affairs of the society, or makes or causes to make a false entry in any document concerning to the society, there is a penalty. Makes any investment in contravention to the provision of section 64 of the bylaws of the act, there is a penalty on that. Then causes unlawful losses, loss of asset, property of the society, there is a penalty imposed on that. Then cause of unlawful loss to the depositor, the board of directors or responsible officer or multi-state cooperative society shall be punishable with an imprisonment for a period which shall not be less than 1 month, but which may extend to the 1 year, or with a fine which shall not be less than 5,000 rupees, but may extend up to 1 lakh rupees, or with both. So there are heavy penalties on wrong decisions or false decisions or any kind of falsification or malpractices done by the officers of the society. These type of amendments are made in the act. Cognizable offences are mentioned in the act, that is provision for this act in derogation of any other law. The provision of this act shall be in addition to and not in derogation of any other law for the time being in force. So provisions mentioned under the act are in addition to regular provisions. So these offences and penalties are in addition to regular offences and penalties mentioned under any other act. So I think we are reaching at the closure time. So with this, I will wait over here. And now over to the organizers for the closing remarks. And if there are any question and answers, I'm happy to take.
Yeah, if there are any questions, you can quickly type it in the link which has been shared with you. So I'll quickly take your questions. If anyone in the audience, if you have any questions, yeah, we are good to take. We have around 8 minutes left, so we can definitely take your questions. You can type down the questions and then I'll take it over you. I'll wait for 2 minutes. If there are no questions, so then I guess you have explained it very clearly, because questions दो सीन में होते, एक तो कुछ भी नहीं समझा और एक तो 100% समझा. So I guess all of them are in the second bucket कि 100% समझा होगा उनको.
This is a new area of practice, and very few chartered accountant firms are in this cooperative field. But there are many opportunities apart from audit.
So, but one question from my end. Now, usually, often we find the newly chartered accountants qualified, the youth generation, often they find a trouble in knowing the proper course of action, how to enter. So what tip you would give them? Because many a times what happens, they are totally lost. They do not have that much clarity. And often in the articleship phase, they do not get the relevant experience. हर एक के ही पास cooperative का experience उनको मिलता नहीं है. So they do not know how to enter and how to find opportunity. So what tip would you like to give them?
For entering into this particular field, no, first of all, you need to understand the law and the gravity of the problem of the law, because this is a cooperative movement and many things are to be or many things handled by non-experienced people, and you need to deal with those non-experienced people. That is a biggest challenge. Okay, they are not that professional to take any kind of uh, decision. And exactly this is the opportunity because they are new in this particular field. So any new or fresh chartered accountant who want to enter into cooperative practice, no, if you at least study the taxation part, GST or income tax, at least you study GST and income tax related with cooperative field, you can enter into cooperative society because many cooperative society are not aware about taxation provisions also. So you can start with the taxation part, and as an when you understand the other aspects of cooperative field, you can definitely guide them because ultimately it is a business enterprise. If we start from income tax guidance, just a return filing thing, because many those cooperative societies they do not file income tax returns also.
True.
They are not aware about tax audits. They are
Exactly.
not aware about GST returns or GST registrations. And nowadays there are heavy demands for income tax as well as GST non-compliance for these societies. So once you enter with this area, then you can uh, start with TDS non-compliances. Then you can start with their other management non-compliances, and then you can go ahead and guide them for a cooperative thing also.
Okay.
So non-cooperative से start करो and then reach to the cooperative thing because act को पढ़ना और act को समझना is a very new thing for a new chartered accountant because this particular act is not there in your syllabus also. Okay, so you need to understand this particular law from the beginning. And you can definitely start with your known area of practice, that is income tax and GST.
Sen, do you think language also at times
Yes,
becomes
language
a
is
trouble?
also trouble
Yeah.
because in Maharashtra, cooperative department works in Marathi.
Marathi, yeah.
Karnataka in their local language. Again in Gujarat, they speak only in Gujarati. So language is also trouble, but language is not always a barrier. We can definitely find a
Work on that.
solution. You can definitely, and naturally, if you want to practice in any particular state, then you should understand language of that particular state.
True.
Language is a trouble, but you need to, and Google is now handling many language issues. So language should not be trouble nowadays.
Okay. Okay, so that would suffice, I guess. So newly chartered accountants would definitely
Yes.
think of this as well as an option because many a times I've seen even when I interact with many newly
Yes.
qualified, they are totally not aware and they hesitate to enter probably. So I guess this is the right platform for them.
This
where
is
they
the
can
right
apply.
platform, and this give you opportunity in other fields also. Because once you start with cooperative, no, there are many people in board of directors. So
Right.
at a time you can meet with 21 people. So out of 21 people, दो चार लोग तो business में होंगे.
Exactly.
Actually 21 के 21 business में होंगे. So you get other opportunities also through cooperatives.
You can have a huge network, I believe.
Yes. And it is a free of cost.
Yeah.
This advertisement is free of cost, not only with board of directors. Later on, your report will go or your comment will go to number of members, and each number of each member can coordinate with you, and you can reach to that particular member also, free of cost.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I'll quickly check on the question pane if there are any other questions. Otherwise, I guess we are good to end. Okay. There are no questions. So, yes. So, on behalf of the Committee on Commercial Laws, Economic Advisory, and NPO Cooperative ICAI, so we are really thankful to you, Amit sir, for giving your valuable time. And I know the presentation was quite exhaustive. You would have you had to run a few slides, but
Yes,
definitely
and,
all the slides.
I will share the slides with you.
Definitely.
And it was a last moment addition so that I could not prepare short and
Yeah, I understand. And basically, the topic itself is quite exhaustive. So we cannot really put it into
and the
like
topic
cut
is
down.
new also.
But definitely you tried to highlight most of the important pointers and you have made us a vision clear that how we can enter and how we can definitely grow our practice, because right now in today's age it is very important for us to develop our horizon. And we are totally into a VUCA world where there is a lot of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. Election results have come up and all the things are going to change very soon. So definitely your valuable guidance have helped us. Even I would like to thank the prior speaker, C. Ramesh Prabhu sir, for his efforts in bringing you here and even for the successful completion of this wonderful event. And I would like to thank the chairman of the committee and the vice chairman to make us aware about to keep this wonderful topic on the day number, the series, which is going on since lot many days. So definitely thanks to the committee as well, because through these initiatives, I guess we become aware. At least we get to know what is happening. Otherwise, we are totally busy with our daily routine. But these webinars definitely is a boon to us. So thank you so much, sir. And
Thank you.
yes, we'll share the presentation with all the participants. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.